Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now, I know kind of been slacking a little bit on uploading stuff, which I'm sorry for. But today, I have found something genuinely peak, alright? And I want to do a quick review on it, right? Because I've played it a little bit already, and my last recording broke. And, you know, I just want to quickly do this because it's funny and it's kind of peak. So, enough yap for now. Let's get into it. Alright, so as you can see, it's a hold fast game where you need to hold your position. It's, you know, one of them defense games. Think of like the Zulu War games, right? Now, this one's a bit funnier though, because your main enemy are, well, furries. So, before a horde spawns, first of all, when you spawn in, there's 3 different classes, either Ranker, Officer, or Artilleryman, okay? So, in spawn, you have boats. You have boats with guns on them, so if you need to, you can take a couple of these out to the front. There's ammunition. And there are weapons scattered around the map, which is actually a pretty cool detail. Anything that looks like you could use it as a weapon, you can. Over there are axes. In front of me is a furry. Oh shit. Without engaging them too much, I'll just quickly run over. So in the starting area, you have cannons and boats. The carbines on the right, and there's an axe. In the middle, which is kind of your fallback line, are, you know, emplacements. This is where you want to defend. Up here is Mr. Tutorial Guy, Rupert. And you can just ask him stuff. I'm not going to sit here and do every option, but he'll tell you where stuff is. Like the shop, which is over here. So just in spawn alone, there's already a lot. You know, you have the cannons, you have your immediate fallback point, and then you have the shop. The only downside is, because the game isn't really well known, if you go out and play this by yourself, you're probably going to get overran really quickly. But that's where melee comes in. Most classes have some sort of melee weapon, and it's about a 2-shot for most of them. Even the dagger here 2-shots them. So here, you kill to get money, you can get grenades, pistols, a Prussian musket, rifles, key, compass, swab, whatever. There's also a French tent over here, which you can put it on if you feel so inclined to. Behold, I am now Dutch. This is your fallback line area, which is pretty neat, pretty cool. Now, a cool feature, which I think they've added, is that these spikes here actually do damage. Now, they're on a bit of a timer, so it ticks. So it's not immediate, and you can't just use them to exploit. But, if you're being overrun, let's say right now, because I am, I can just run over to the spikes and kind of defend here, because they'll be already quite injured from trying to hop the wall. The only downside is you'll also take damage. So I'm just gonna clear this horde off, and then I'll check back in on you. So, that's not all in terms of gameplay. If you feel like maybe you don't want to be killing the furries, you can actually join them. So, as a little tidbit, the Royal Navy is in fact shelling the island, so all those explosions you see occasionally appearing, they do kill. So they'll kill you, and they'll kill the furries. And you see there's a lot of room to work with. There's even a small outpost over there, a little encampment. There's a ruined house on the far left. You are able to swim, but there's no real point in it, since, well, the map is fairly small. Just be aware, the furries can also swim, so, just watch out for that. And over here, you'll see the Moai statue. So, we're just gonna quickly hold F. So, we're just gonna ignore the fact I'm getting mauled to death. There we go, look! You can spawn in as a furry. Now, there we go. You need to give it a second, but you get a tail as your weapon. Now, sadly, nobody else has joined me to test, but from what I've seen by hitting the NPCs, this thing is really strong. So, to make up for the fact that you don't really have, you know, a weapon, well, you don't have a gun, you start off with your tail, which you can hit and block with. Like this. And you can press K to walk fast with. You can also salute, I guess. But it looks more like you're, fighting it. So, first, watch out for the artillery. You can actually go raid it as a furry. So, even as a furry, when you swap teams, you can take carbines and all of the weapons. Anything that you could pick up as human, or in the British Army, you're able to pick up as a furry. So, if you're sneaky enough, or if you've pushed far enough, you are able to just arm yourself outright. You can also buy from the shop, even like this. I don't quite think that's intended, however, you know, it's always good to have another way to play. It kind of rewards you for, you know, winning. So, that's about it. Just to wrap up, I'm going to say, this game is surprisingly well made. It's not laggy at all. Usually most games that use cool death, this musket tech, like, you know, the framework and all that, usually games like this are really laggy and they don't work, you know, nah, it's disgusting. But this game, you see that? I'm playing on max graphics right now. I can move my mouse as much as I want, no lag. Even when I shoot, no lag. So it's very well optimized. It's a small map, so you don't get lost in it. The only downside is, it's a small map, so if you don't have a lot of people, as you can see in the distance, that little tower of furries there, if you're playing alone, you're kinda cooked. My final thoughts on the game? 10 out of 10. Personally, I think it's amazing. Although sadly, I'll have to bump it down to a 9, because, well, the cannons don't work. So, you could, theoretically, you know, hold off the hordes very well by yourself, but the thing is, as you can see, it would work, but it doesn't, because you can't get the ammo. I hope you enjoyed this short review. I know I'm talking a little bit out of my ass, but this game is fucking amazing, alright? Go check it out. I have left the link in the description. This thing is peak. Bye-bye.